mean, I like how on the script it says, is it centered? Is it actually? This is multitasking on a whole new level.
Oh, I'm so stressed.
Are you?
Noise was stressing me out so much.
Oh, I've just moved over. Am I?
You're in centre this one, right? We'll put this right here because I have no idea what we're talking about.
You love it.
Welcome to The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available.
The podcast hosted by Holly and Louise, where we talk all things
Besties,
creative solopreneurship
boss babes, building businesses from the ground up.
with two very good but very unlikely friends.
If it's your first time listening, you can catch us on audio every Wednesday and our visuals every Saturday.
Wonderful. So make sure to follow us on all socials and all platforms so you don't miss a thing. At The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available on which platforms, because I still really don't know.
The Name We Wanted wasn't available on Instagram. The name wasn't available on TikTok and, of course, YouTube and Spotify. Maybe more, actually. No, there is still no more.
Maybe more. We'll see. We'll see what happens by the time this is out.
That's one of those moments that needs to get cut.
Maybe more. We'll see when this is out. I like that. That's going in. John, the editor, will fix that in.
Today we have our first guest on The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available. We are both incredibly excited to welcome Jade. Jade has a business in upcycling furniture and so much more. She's currently going through a rebrand and recently launched her business full-time in September of 2024.
Yes.
So welcoming to the pod, Jade. Jade, it's a pleasure to have you here. How are you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous.
You know,
Oh, no, don't be.
you're going to be just fine. Jade, I gave you a very probably poor introduction for all the fabulous things that you can offer. So would you like to start by just introducing yourself and telling us and the audience about what you do?
Okay, so it's kind of a bit of a varied thing, but I started upcycling furniture pre-COVID, believe it or not, because when COVID hit, the world and his wife started upcycling furniture. So the market was quite heavily saturated, but I persisted. Whilst I was doing that, I've always been arty. So I just started doing artwork. I started with abstract using acrylic paint pouring, and then I discovered alcohol inks, which is like a really fluid abstract medium.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes into the whole ethos of what I do. I just love getting into the flow. So the flow of the paint, the flow of the inks, it all just kind of moved. And then I kind of found my niche by applying the ink designs onto the furniture,
Wow.
which I'd not actually seen anyone do. So that kind of got me really excited. And then I started teaching workshops. So I kind of got the three umbrellas of the furniture, the art, and the workshops. But I teach kids and I teach adults and groups. So it's quite a nice varied little mix.
That is amazing.
Yes, sounds wonderful.
And obviously, you took this full time September last year.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing beforehand? Like, what was your job?
So I had a few jobs. Basically, I came back from travelling because I was working in a sort of corporate media post-production house full-time,
Yeah.
not the 9 till 5, it was more like 8 till 6.
Sure. Long
That's the
day.
commuting. So when I got back, I thought I just cannot go back to that. So I just thought to myself, I need to do something creative because I've always been creative.
Yeah.
I was going to a lot of boot sales with my boyfriend's mum at the time because we got back, had no money, and I just tried to hold off getting a job. So I was trying to make as much money as I could by selling off my things.
Yeah, of course.
And then I just saw this furniture at boot sales, and then obviously the likes of show of Money for Nothing, Repair Shop, and I love all those makeover shows like in the 90s, changing rooms and all of them things.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can do that. So I just started picking up a paintbrush and doing that. But yeah, so I've kind of digressed a little bit. So I was doing the corporate life for a little while, and then I had the job whilst doing my furniture. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go part-time. When I come back from travelling, I didn't want a full-time job.
No.
So I made myself have a part-time job just to pay the bills and get by.
Yeah.
And then I was running this alongside it. And I was doing that for 4 years,
Wow.
which went really fast.
Yeah, no, I
So
can
yeah,
imagine.
so it was only as of September last year, 2024, that I bit the bullet. And
would you say that the process of like going traveling was like your key to really finding yourself and like finding what more you needed to get out of life?
it's going to sound Kind of, yeah. Like when I went away, my boyfriend, he's an actor, and he was writing the whole time I was away, and I was just enjoying sunbathing and just thinking, right, I was trying to think, I'm always running away. I need to think, what can I do? So, and it really stressed me out. I think there's always this pressure of, you know, find your passion and then you'll never work a day in your life. And I was thinking, I need to find my passion. What's my passion? Like, I like traveling, but at that time, it's not something I could see I could turn into a job, although, you know, people have bloggers and all things. I felt like I'd missed the boat.
Sure.
That part. And I think it took me a while, and I think there's a lot of pressure to find your passion. So I think you kind of stumble upon things. When it's your time, it's your time. And I'm a massive believer of that things will happen in the right time when it's right for you.
Of course. And where do you think that like main bulk of pressure comes from? Do you find it like within like friendship groups, or is it like family? Is it social media? Is it the media in general? All
of the above, definitely. I mean, I know comparison is a thief of all joy, and you shouldn't, but I think we're all guilty of it. I am especially. And you look at my friends, and they're buying houses, they're getting married, they're having babies. I've not had any children as of yet.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm the same.
And then family members as well. But I just think the likes of like my nan, for instance, bless her, she's that very old school mentality. It's just get a job and like, you know, it's just completely different. Whereas you just have, I think nowadays, the social pressure of doing something you enjoy, I don't know, you just get that itch. I got that itch. I just needed to find it, but I just didn't know what it was.
And so it's effectively that whole process of like actually just immersing yourself in the smaller things of life that you were loving, and effectively it came to you, I guess.
Yeah.
That's so amazing, right?
Definitely. Yes, yeah, no, definitely. I'll just say, you say you worked part-time then for 4 years?
Yes.
Doing them both. Was there sort of a combination of anything that happened specifically that made you want to take it sort of then full-time into your passion, or was it sort of a build-up over, you come back from travelling, 4 years of sort of softly working towards it?
I think it just got to the point where I just was not in either of this. I felt like my mind and my body was split, and I couldn't focus on my other job, proper job, and I couldn't focus on what I wanted to do, because a part of the week I was doing that thinking, oh, I've still got to do this, and that part of the week I was thinking, oh, I've got to go back to work. So I just felt like I couldn't fully focus towards the end, and both sides were suffering. But yeah, I think it's just accumulative. I knew that was the end goal. I knew I had the part-time job on the basis that I would quit. And my boyfriend was kind of pushing, like, come on, like, you need to do this. And it's scary. It is really scary to take the leap. It took me 4 years to make the decision to take the leap, I think.
And like, what, I guess, advice would you give to other people like in that situation? Because I can equally agree with you like that. I mean, for me, when I took the leap last year, I was more at a breaking point. It felt like if I don't do this for myself now, like it's going to be so detrimental to my mental health. And I was like, I've just got to get out of this environment. And I think for me, I almost forced myself over the edge, probably before I was actually ready to do so. But by doing that, it gave me a purpose to be like, well, Holly, you need to make ends meet. And so you're going to have to figure this out. It sounds to me like yours was a lot more organised and like there was a lot more in place. So I guess what gave you, like, how would you advise other people in your situation to either build themselves up, to be able to take that leap in a more organised fashion, or were you kind of, I guess, more similar to me and it was like, enough is there, but...
Today's the day. No more,
Done.
I had a big life event that actually happened. I lost my dad in 2023, and I think it always takes something like that, unfortunately, to kind of make you think life's too short, and if you don't do things now, when are you going to do it?
Yeah.
That was a big pushing part for me, and I think that's why towards the end of working in my other part-time job, I just felt so just vague, just wasn't really with it. But obviously, hopefully not everyone has to go through something so tormenting as that. But I think what you were saying about having a purpose, up until doing my business, I felt like I didn't have a purpose. And now, if you think you're going away from the 9 till 5, now I'm working 24/7. But that's my purpose and that's what's driving me. And to actually have that, it's so fulfilling.
Of course.
So I think if you feel like, but listen, don't get me wrong, I cry pretty much once a month.
Every day.
Things go every day. Things aren't going my way, things aren't going right.
Yeah.
I have a little breakdown, and then, you know, I ask myself, well, would I want to work for somebody else? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
So, like, I know that's what I want to do. I think it's asking yourself and prioritizing what makes you happy. What do you actually want to do at that point in your life? What serves you? Let's face it, some people can't work a part-time job. Some people have dependencies on them, like children or parents they have to look after and things like that. It's not easy, but I think if you can start implementing it in a small way, if you could maybe drop one of your days down or go part-time or like reduce your hours in some way. Because I know some people have done furniture upcycling as well whilst having a full-time job. And I'm thinking, wow, how can you do that? Yeah. And I think some people just got different drive levels.
Yes.
And some people, well, I don't really need much sleep. So, I mean, I need a lot of sleep.
Yeah, me too.
So it's just, everybody is different. And I think you just can't compare yourself to others because everyone's got different stories. Everyone's got different talents. Everyone's got different drives and motives.
Yeah.
But if your purpose is what drives you to do it, it will happen because it's what you want. And I think that's that whole manifestation. So I know some people think that's quite wishy-washy, but it is the way you talk to yourself. Yeah, that's something I've really had to work on lately. Even saying things like, oh, I've got no money. Just don't even say that. Just don't even think it. Then that will come to you. Yeah. So many weird things have been happening lately. Like, it's so crazy. Like, the other morning, I woke up. I don't know if anyone believes in all this, but anyway.
We do.
Yeah,
So it's
I feel like you kind of have to when you're just holding it's all yourself, if that makes sense. Like you kind of have to then have an outside faith of belief and
I don't know what I believe in. I mean, I was christened Catholic, but I haven't been to church in a long time. Sorry, God. But I believe it's all about the energy, isn't it? And if you do good things will come to you. I really do believe in all that. Anyway, but I digress. I woke up at 8 o'clock. My alarm went off at 8. I just lied there and I was just manifesting. And then I woke up and it was 0808 on my phone, like the angel numbers. Yeah. But I was manifesting like, you know, that money's going to come to me. It's here, like I have it, blah, blah, blah. And then I turned my phone off of aeroplane mode because I don't see it with my phone on. And I had a message that I'd sold a workshop ticket that was literally able to take me out of my overdraft that day.
That's so nice. Yeah.
And I was just like, and it was the amount that I needed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, I got that shivers even thinking of it.
So it all just comes together.
Yeah.
No, honestly, we are such big fans of manifestation, and I'm a huge fan of angel numbers.
You are. It's like a whole call about it like 2 days ago. I believe you are in the middle of a rebrand now, if I'm correct with that. Yes. So could you just let our audience know what you're rebranding from and to?
I can, definitely. So I come up with the name Upcycle Antics because I was doing the furniture and a little bit of art, and the antics was kind of like the playful word. But then the word upcycle just become quite a hobbyish word. And obviously I want to build a brand that I can grow with, and I felt like the word was kind of holding me back. And because I don't just upcycle, like on my Christmas markets, for instance, I do these really pretty hand painted baubles, and someone would actually walk past and said, oh look, they're upcycled baubles, and in my head I was like, oh, they're really not. But so I was like, the messaging wasn't clear, and I feel like that was the main part, is that the messaging was so unclear. I didn't actually have a brand image or colour palette or anything up until now, when my graphic designer is doing it for me. So I'm going to be called Jade Dawn because that's my first and middle name. And then I liked keeping my middle name because it's the whole idea of like a new dawn, a new day, new designs, fresh ideas. So it's Jade Dawn, it will be jadedawn.com. Yeah. And then the sub-brands will be, sort of sections will be Jade Dawn Art, Jade Dawn Workshops, and Jade Dawn Home Furniture. I need to work on what they'll actually be.
That's amazing. But your branding is really strong. I took a look at your Instagram. You're like over 3,000 followers. Yeah. I mean, you look very, very cohesive as someone who works in social media.
Very well put together.
Yeah, like my first comment to Louise was like, she's got a really strong personal brand, which is part of like why I was like so excited to have this conversation with you. Like, how did you have ambitions to drive your following? Like, have you had a strategy within building your business at all?
No.
Really? Just kind of winging it?
I think the algorithm and everything, you probably hear this all the time, has changed so much in the past few years. I got to 1,000 followers in the first 6 months or a year, and then another 1,000 followers the year after that, and then 2 years after that I literally grew to only 3,000 now. It's taken so long. I feel like sometimes all the effort that I put in, you don't really get a lot of return of investment back, but you just got to step away from the vanity metrics and think it's not the be all and end all, it's the community that you have. And I love that. That's why I love teaching workshops, so that whole community feel. And even if you don't see me in person, having that community on Instagram. Well, I use Instagram mainly. I think that's lovely. And even when I meet my customers, if I'm doing a bespoke piece of furniture for them or artwork, we kind of stay in contact.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because I just want that friendly relationship. I'm not this person to just kind of take a job and leave it. If you want to kind of, they might say, oh, look, I moved it to this room, or I think that's just lovely. Just to have that connection. So,
is it your main source of income, your Instagram? Does that drive most of your business?
I'm actually in a shop now as well. So it's not my shop, but I rent a space inside of a shop. I applied for a grant with my local council last year. I'm getting so confused because we're at the start of this year. 2023, whenever it was, or 24. Anyway, I applied for a grant. It was 50-50 match funding. It wasn't a lot. It enabled me to get into a shop space. And then I had to prove that I was going to pay the remaining 50% for the rest of the year. But from getting into that shop space, I built up my clientele with all the regular customers that come in, build up a rapport, and then now I've got repeat customers. They might come in and do a workshop with me, they might come back and do another workshop, or they might say, oh, actually, could you do this for me? And then they'll pass my name on. So it's the online, but having a shop presence has been massive for me. And I know that's not easy for a lot of people to be able to get on the high street.
Of course.
Because of all the overhead costs and things.
Of course, but I think it goes back to what you're definitely really passionate about, which is showing up in person, because obviously you're not a massive fan of social media in general. But what you really excel in is actually being present and finding opportunities to show up to events and talk to other people and learn from others. And I think
I think it gives a different feeling as well in person. You understand, sort of, you get to know the people's journeys and the whys and the whats, as opposed to sometimes if you think on social media that it's very one-sided. I personally I do. I find whenever I'm promoting stuff on social media, I feel very silly. I'm always just trying to push stuff out. I struggle with social media, if you probably know. My stuff is all over the place. So yours looks very, very cohesive.
Thank you.
Even if you're saying it, you didn't curate it in that way, it comes across in that way. So it's very, very nicely put together. You say you noticed immediately.
I instantly felt that you told a really strong story. I felt like I knew you through your content.
Very quickly as well, like without like research. As soon as you look at the page, you feel very personable.
Maybe that's what it is, because my graphic designer said to me, you've got to be careful of being a personal brand and your business brand. And then I'm thinking, well, I am my business, but obviously I'm not. It has to be separate, but that's probably why at the moment it does come across quite like that, because I do just show up. When I first started doing it, I hated it. I hated talking to the camera. My boyfriend, being an actor, he'd be like, you sound so miserable, like, are you okay? And then I would try and do like, hi, and then you're like, and then I'm fake. So it took a long time just talking to the camera, deleting it, about 10 stories. And now I just think I just do it naturally. And it's just like talking to a friend. You forget who actually sees you.
Of course.
You had a little stalk, and I'm like, oh, okay.
What would you say are your favourite tips for getting used to being on camera and
just
talking?
do it
again and again.
Yeah, just keep doing it and keep doing it, and you just feel awkward, but you just have to keep doing it. And the thing is, if you don't like it, you don't have to show your face. You could turn the camera. There's all this faceless marketing now. As long as people can hear there's a voice behind it, you could just talk over and have text on it and showing what you're doing. People like watching people making things. We're very tactile human beings, so people like to see things being made. So even if it's just like a bird's eye view, you could just have the camera looking down and you could talk. And then maybe you might get the confidence to show your face.
Yes,
I love a bit of faceless marketing. I also think it can really help you to focus your audience on receiving the message that you want them to receive, from the content. Sometimes when you are really hyper fixated on just yourself being on camera, you yourself can become your own distraction. Whereas I think Do you know what I mean? Yes. Whereas like, I think, especially with like the type of work that you do, like you say, like being able to actually see something in production or see how something's created, it's a different type of visual hook, and it doesn't rely so much on you having to show up as the person you think you ought to be on social media, but it gives you the room to grow in the way that feels authentic to your brand. I don't know if you agree with that as well.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
Awesome. And goals for your businesses and workshops.
Lots.
What would you like to see your business be in 5 years' time?
I've had to ask myself this question so many times, like doing your why, your mission, your vision. It just gets me stressed out. But I think only recently I've just realised, just to get excited about it, I want to take my workshops on the road. I want to inspire people. That's the main part of it. If people say, oh, you've inspired me to do this, that just fills me with so much joy. That's just so rewarding. So to take workshops on the roads, whether that's around the UK or abroad, that'd be amazing. To do my own art retreat, because I've always been arty and creative. So to actually just have loads of different things people can dip their toes into. Hen parties, kids parties, that's all. I maybe have a team behind me, so that workshop side can grow. And then with my bespoke furniture designs, I want to tap into the higher end clienteles, make some connections with interior designers, and then create some really beautiful one-off pieces that people can then build in a collection. And then equally, I want my stuff to be more accessible for the wider audience. So you'll have your higher end clientele with your my bespoke pieces, but then having prints that other people who maybe couldn't afford the higher end pieces, they can still access and still build a collection. So to have sellout collections would just be amazing. That's the workshop, that's the art and the furniture. Yeah, just to build the community, I think.
I love that.
We love that.
Yeah, no, I loved that so much.
Community.
I say as well, it was really nice because at the start of our conversation, you mentioned it was after you travelled, you came back and you thought, this is what I want to get into more so. And you also said that you thought you'd missed the boat with the passion about travelling. So it was nice that it kind of works back in with the workshops of taking the workshops on the road, potentially abroad even at some point. Yeah. So that was really nice, like...
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle. Because as you said, you didn't think that it was... going to be something that's feasible to add the travelling in because that sort of market had gone, as I say. So that was very nice. Yeah.
Oh, and I've got something exciting to share as well, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I've not actually released this anywhere yet.
Oh
my God.
This is a scoop. Yeah.
Breaking news, inside scoop.
I'm going to Grand Design's live exhibition in May.
Oh, that's so cool.
We've got a brand design specialist on our podcast.
That's so cool.
That's like a congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
So I'm going to be part of the emerging brands section. There's like a little corridor that's within like the main big, it's going to be at EXO in London. And then it's going to be me and the lady called Donna, who's the shop owner. So she's a mosaics artist and we're collaborating together to make these beautiful designs on bespoke furniture and mirrors and splashbacks. So we're combining our materials together.
I just got chills.
That is so amazing.
For you. Congratulations.
Yeah, super congratulations.
Thank you so much.
5 years, you'll be doing that. 6 months, you'll be...
Can I just say, we only have the best talent on this pod.
Well, you know.
And watch Grand Designs. Do you know when the episode will go live?
So it's not on TV, it's going to be at the exhibition.
Fine, sorry, I just got really excited.
At the EXO in
not
May.
On TV. The first weekend of May, it's a 4-day event, so I think it's Friday to Monday.
Okay.
We'll
get the dates down. Yeah.
Details. It will be on the pod.
the pod.
And the page.
All the socials.
All the socials.
Yeah.
And of course, Jade's socials as well. So, I mean, do you want to drop your socials for now? I don't. Obviously, they're going to probably change, like in terms of handle name, and we can update our audience accordingly.
Yeah, we'll do that because I don't know when it's going to happen yet. It might be within the next week.
It could be within.
Socials will be on the screens or in the bios, captions. I need to see how much I use social media.
Can I just say, you say so many words and say one thing. I give really long, rambly stories, and you just skip words.
Yeah. The socials will be in places for the podcast.
But regardless of whatever that chaos was, thank you so much for joining us today, Jade.
Thank you for having me.
You are amazing. We are so excited to see you at Grand Designs, at the Excel.
And the rebrand, everything.
The
Got a lot of stuff
rebrand,
happening. Yeah. So
how this all evolves, and we will be right behind you every step of the way.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are so
Thank you.
welcome. Stay seated. We are going to do our outro. Guys, we're actually making a small comeback here because we didn't do the random fact.
Yeah. Some of us knew we didn't and just thought we'd go without it because they're trying to ruin our
I don't
format.
like the random fact, but Lewis loves the random fact. As you know, he gets so excited.
It's my favourite bit.
I know. And Jade was just like, oh, I really thought we were going to do the random fact there. I prepared a really good one. And I just had to admit that I knew we were missing the random fact, and I voluntarily chose to continue with covering it up. Lewis is furious.
I actually am. It's my favourite part of the whole episode.
It's not a really good one. Don't hype me up.
You've got so much pressure now.
So we'll just cut that now.
So I've suggested that we come back on to have this lovely moment of randomness on Lewis's behalf. Lewis, take it away.
It's not my random fact.
No, I know, but you like to do the whole random fact, and you pick
Yeah, we're doing it.
board.
I get excited.
Yes,
we're
we
doing
get
a random fact of the week, and we've jumped back in because, as Holly said, she screwed us over. To be honest.
Yeah.
So, Jade, would you like to give us your?
No, I don't anymore. I think we should cut it.
No. Do take it away.
So I had two, and I didn't know what to do.
Give them
Give us
both.
two. Give us both.
Okay. A weird fact about me is that my right foot is a whole size bigger than my left foot, and I didn't know this until a couple of years ago. So I've just been wearing that. This foot's been squished for many years. My poor big toe.
So what do you do then?
Yeah, no, I don't buy one size.
You buy two
foot.
Two different.
Buy
shoes.
2 pairs of
No. I size up, but I just didn't want to go. I've got big feet. I'm a big feet girl. I'm a size 8.5, and this one's a 7.5.
Really?
That is so
I've just been wearing an
cool.
8.
Just to make that middle ground.
Is that what you went for? You just went for an 8?
Yeah,
Does
my
that
whole life.
really hurt?
In certain shoes, it did more, so I just went for the bigger fitting shoes.
Oh
But now isn't there not too much room in the other shoe?
It seems to be okay.
Okay.
Seems to be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works.
Fine. I mean, the toe stretches the other shoe, doesn't it? So
Oh my god, that is
was a
random.
It is a very,
Very
random fact.
random
Yeah, I
fact.
did love that.
Okay, fine. And your second random fact?
I know a bit of back slang, really old
Oh, yeah.
school back slang. My mum used to do it when she was a
Hang
kid.
on, what's back slang?
There's loads of different types, but it was a sort of a coded language that was used in Victorian days. I don't know
back
that
slang.
one.
You
have
never
you heard
knew
of
of it.
back slang?
I've heard it's like the ibagoo guy, that stuff, right? I can't do that's how I feel like it sounds
Yeah,
to
so
my
if I want
brain.
to say, hi, my name is Jade, it's have a guy, mother guy, never game, never kids, never gades.
There's like some
And I
weird
haven't done
rule
that in
about
so
it, right?
long. So I thought, oh, that's a really random fact. I would say
That
that one.
is.
That is
You've never heard of back slang?
no.
Oh, okay, casual. Okay, sorry. Maybe it's a Hertfordshire thing.
think it was like
I used to speak gobbledygook with my sister.
That's not real.
What's
No,
gobbledygook?
well, that's the point. She said we'd go, you know.
Oh, right, that's
So
no.
nothing. They just made noises
And
at
then
each
we'd
other.
just- yeah, and then we'd be like,
Back
yeah,
slang's
we
a
thought
real
we'd-
thing. And there's the different ones, right? And each one has different rules.
Yeah,
And
I
I
only
don't
know
know
that
the
one.
things.
Hibbity hobbity hobbity doo.
So it's like, if I say how, it's you take the first letter and go over. So hover, and then you say the rest of the word how. Ow. So hover ow is how. Avagar. Yivagoo. You. How are you? Avagar. Yivagoo.
That's so cool.
Can we run a poll on this episode if anybody else knew about
Anyone else know
backslang?
backslang?
And if you do, send us a video of you havagadarring.
I like how you thought you can just learn it that quick. The confidence of you have a Gadarin, because that means anything, Holly.
That's having.
I don't know. if it-
Avagar Vivigan is having.
Whoa.
Have a Gadar-
But you got to separate
There
the
was so
syllables.
much confidence here.
I loved it.
Have a Gadarin. Like, yeah, I know how to speak this now.
My mind is officially blown. That was definitely worth the round.
That was definitely.
I'm sorry for cutting it because I'm glad this is going to be in the episode. I'm going to be honest.
Never again will you cut my random facts.
No, I won't. Anyway, thank you.
That is it, yeah.
You're welcome.
We're going to cut back in now to the outro.
And this is going to jump to, we're back on the outro. And then that will cut somehow.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that was.
That was, I'm excited. Okay. Are we ready?
We are ready. Take it away.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, thank you for joining us on The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available.
We hope you find our unfiltered conversations useful.
Keep building, keep dreaming, and stay amazing.
And don't forget to follow us at The Name We Wanted Wasn't Available on Instagram. The Name Wasn't Available on TikTok. And stay tuned on YouTube and Spotify as normal.
And if there is anything you'd like to discuss or any way you'd like to tell me how amazing I am or how amazing Jade has been for our guest today, please contact us. Feel free to drop us an email at contact@hollyandlewis.com. If you liked Holly, you can contact us too.
You should have just left me off at that point. It was such a waste. Like, it was such a waste of minutes and oxygen. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Bye for now.
Bye.
Biddly beep, biddly beep, biddly beep. You love it.